The Pokemon hobby is slowing down right now, and nobody wants to buy anything. And I'm here to tell you why you should. What's up, everybody? My name's Jake. This is Rocket's Return, and today I'm going to tell you why you should be, buying stuff right now when nobody else is. We've definitely hit a summer slowdown. There's a lot of people who don't seem to believe that, whether they be on YouTube or not. I've talked to quite a few people and listened to quite a few videos of people saying, there's no slowdown. There's definitely a slowdown. Okay. Compared to last year and the year before, let's just be real. For some of y'all, this is scary. It scares you. You've probably not been in this hobby very long, maybe 6 months to a year. And the people who have been in here that long haven't experienced a summer slowdown, because last year we did not have that. Okay. The hobby did not slow down. Nothing changed. We just kept booming all the way to the top. This year, it looks like people are actually taking vacations. They're outside touching grass. They're doing the summer stuff. This is what normally happens. For people who've been in this hobby for a couple of years and they haven't experienced this is normal. The boom throughout the summer, that was not normal. You would think it may be. Kids are out of school, people are doing this, but ultimately, a lot of people use that extra money that they were making to support this hobby, their hobby. Okay. However, now, what are they doing with it? They're going on vacation. Okay. This is the perfect opportunity for you to buy. And here's why. Right now, what you should be doing is going to shows, trying to make deals, trying to make connections, help your local vendors out that you like, because when things start to pick up again, you go back to those people, they will remember the times that you spent your money with them while we were in a slower period. So when we're booming and they're getting stuff at less and selling it at more, they'll be more likely to help you out. Okay. Connections are important in this hobby. However, there's a lot of people that are like, oh, it's crashing, it's going down, Pokemon's not making good sets. Let's just cut the bullshit right there. First of all, Pokemon's still making good sets. Chaos Rising, a good set. Perfect Order, I get it. You don't like it, that's cool. Okay. I don't have a Mega Base box up here. I will one day. But Chaos Rising is a good set. Small set, but it's a good set. My brother would fully disagree with me on that. For some reason, he doesn't like it. Pretty much he doesn't like anything that he can't pull anything out of, and he hasn't had good luck with it. Pokemon's about to drop Pitch Black in like a few days, maybe a week. I think we have a week. Pokemon's dropping Pitch Black, and it's another small set, okay? Pokemon is going to continuously put out small sets until the 30th anniversary. All right? Pitch Black, I believe, is the last set we get before the 30th anniversary. And the 30th anniversary is where they're going to put all their time, energy, and print capacity. Okay. For the 25th anniversary, I was finding stuff on shelves 2 years later. Okay. 25th anniversary was printed to the moon, and it's going to be printed to the moon again. Right now, you have insane products coming out. Game Scalp is out here doing their thing and trying to charge $600 to $800 for a UPC that normally sells for $150 to $200. First of all, do not support that company. Just remember, when we supported them as a community and we had their back and they stayed in business, they have not returned that, and they will not. Do not support that crappy company. I do not ever shop there. I used to go in there all the time. I actually will go to Walmart, Target, anywhere to buy a video game, and they're normally, let's see, one of them is normally about $5 higher, one of them is normally about $5 lower. And if the one that's $5 lower doesn't have it, I'll go pay $5 extra. Okay? Don't support that crap. However, we've got a lot of people that are really worried right now. I went to a show this past weekend. Here, let's look at some of the stuff I picked up, and I'll tell you how I got it, because I got it at a good price. Okay? Let's just start with this. This is a Steelix EX. I don't know what set it's from. Can't remember. It's just a really nice card. There's probably a glare on this. Y'all probably can't see that very well. But it's just a really nice full art. It won't get a 10. It's a little off center, but it's clean. It's a good looking copy. I'll probably grade it anyway and just throw it into my collection. If it gets a 10, we'll look at it. I like Steelix a lot. I feel like you either like Steelix or Scizor, and Scizor can kick rocks. Steelix is better. Competitive wise, Scizor is better, but actually, no, take that back. Wolf Click just showed that Steelix has what it takes, especially in a lower format. I picked this up, this Mightyena EX Delta species. I pretty much pick up any Mightyena card that I think is cool. I will grade this one just to get it encapsulated. It won't get a 10. It'll probably get a 8 or 9. It's really well centered. It's really clean. There's no scratching. I don't know. But it's a little, I don't know, the edges, not the edges, but the corners are a little funkily cut. So it'd probably get a 8 or a 9. That was another PC card. However, this one I will sell. I picked this Gyarados up. It's from, I think it's from a Deoxys set. It's a clean card, really nice. I got this for like, let's see. So this Delta Species Mightyena I got for $30. It was market at 45. I got 15 off. And then this Gyarados, he had it for sale at 100. Market was also 100. And I talked him down to 80. So I ended up saving quite a bit of money. I pretty much saved my grading costs when these open back up and I can ship these off. It's got a little whitening on the back. It'll probably get like a 7 or 8, but it's a nice card and it deserves to be encapsulated. And I got this Crobat. I love a purple Pokemon. Gengar is obviously my favorite. However, I've been a real big fan of Crobat. They've been giving Crobat a lot of love recently. I don't know if you've ever tried to grade the Team Rocket's Crobat, but they're extremely difficult. The one from Destined Rivals. They're extremely difficult to grade. I have graded 3 of them, and all of them have come back 9s. So this one also probably would come back a 9. Still clean. It's just a little off center, left or right. But yeah, these are things I picked up. I got this I picked this up. I looked at the guy. I said, "Hey, how much do you want for this?" And I said, "Market's like $8." He said, "Just give me 3." What? He said, "Yeah, I really need singles, like 3 or 4 right now." I said, "Okay." So I opened my wallet. Thankfully, I had it, and I gave him $4. There's a lot of people right now that are selling, and they're selling to lower to get off their stuff. A lot of people are freaking out. But to be honest with you, now's a great time as a buyer to start buying. We're in this lull where we're not going up or down. Going down a little bit, but we're not really going up. I mean, shoot, I heard somebody the other day call Ascended Heroes descending heroes, and that made me laugh. Gengar's gone down, Dragonite's gone down, all those big chase cards have gone down in that set. However, it doesn't mean that the set's just done, Pokemon's a flop. It doesn't mean that we're done with that. Okay, we're just in a part where we're in a time when people are spending more money doing other things, vacations, activities, stuff like that. So take advantage of that and buy while you can. Okay, if I'm right now, I'm not buying, not because I don't want to, but because I also have vacation coming up. So I'm using that money to save. Now, that's not saying if I don't save enough money by the time I go on vacation, I won't go fire sell some of that sealed stuff I have, like the smaller stuff, to just get up to that number. However, I'm working a lot of hours, so I really don't have time to go to a card show. But also, I'm just not buying right now because those funds are going other places. That's what happens during the summer. I was on eBay the other day, and I was just scrolling, was like, hey, I got a little bit extra. I have about $170 to spend. I wonder what we got going on. So I was on PSA, clicked over to their eBay and started looking through. They had a PSA 10 Roaring Moon up for auction. And it was at like $50. I was like, okay, 55. And it sat there for a day. And then a couple days later, I'm like, it had 5 days left on it. I knew what people were doing. There were 7 of us watching it. I said, okay, click next. All right, cool. Oh, you've been outbid. All right, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna wait a day. So we get down to about 2 or 3, like maybe 1 or 2 days on the thing, and I start bidding back and forth. Now, granted, I've only given myself a max of 170 to spend, and I really didn't even want to spend that. It's not that I don't think the card is worth it. I just would rather get it at a deal because I think that those are That's one of those cars. That's one of those SIRs that is nice. That is cool when it was like kind of the chase for that set. But it's a not popular Pokemon, so people are willing to sell it for less normally. It doesn't have a lot of popularity. I started bidding more with this guy. We went back and forth, and finally he beat me out. I hit the 170. I put in 175. It said, hey, max bid is bigger than this, so no. Okay. Well, then I decided to keep watching it, and I wasn't bidding, and ended up being 2 or 3 other guys going at it. And that card ended up going for like mid 200s. Okay. That wasn't a card that was selling for that prior. It was at some point, but then it dropped pretty low. And now it's working its way back up. There are still gems out there for y'all to buy. There are still people out here buying on eBay. A lot of people, me personally, I believe that a lot of people right now are buying on eBay because they want to use their time and activity during the day to go do other things. So they're not going to card shows. However, they can go sit at a computer late at night, early in the morning, and bid back and forth when still get the stuff for their collection and continue going. But like I said, now's the time to buy. Okay. When prices are stagnating, a lot of people aren't buying sealed, and if they are, it's normally not for a great cost, like a great price or a great percentage. And you're just kind of sitting there going, oh, I don't know. This is the time that all these YouTubers were talking about. This is a great example of one of the things that Team Rocket Joey said that I just have never really been in line with, but I get what he was saying, is right now is one of those times where people are going to start to panic. They're going to start dropping. They're going to start doing this. And he is going to eat that up. He's going to be on Marketplace, on Facebook, et cetera, and he's going to be like, hey, I noticed you want this. I'll give you 60% for it. And a lot of these people are going to take it. And you can't fault them for it. The thing is right now is the time to buy. He knows that. Other people know that. They may not tell you that, but they know it. Behind that computer, behind the screen that you're watching, they're doing other things. If they're talking to you about plays, they're already gone. Okay? Don't worry about the plays they're talking about. Learn to make your own plays. Start looking right now. Hey, look, I noticed that this price is stagnated, but it hasn't dropped. Maybe I should get in on that. Probably a good idea. It's probably one of the first things that's going to go up. Take this time while you can before that boom of the 30th hits, especially followed by a set like Delta Rain that's going to be massive. And unless you're stacking money for those two things, start buying some stuff now. Because here's the thing. We've got a whole nother year of this. Easy. All right? New gen doesn't drop till 2027, and it's probably going to be at the same time they drop every generation, which is November. Which means we have all the way up until then for more mega sets. They still have brand new mega Pokemon that they haven't made cards for, stuff like that, and they're definitely going to do them. For example, Mega Absol Z, Mega Garchomp Z, Mega Lucario Z. My guess would be all 3 of those. My guess is Mega Garchomp Z is in Delta Rain, and Lucario and Absol Z are in the Lucario set that's coming up sometime after Delta Rain. Okay. Is it after or before? It might be before Delta Rain, but whatever. You get the idea. Okay. I didn't do that much research into it. I just know it's coming. But you have an opportunity right now to buy. So take that opportunity. Buy some stuff up. Sit on it. I would wait to sell right now. I was going to sell all the sealed stuff, and I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to hold off on a bit. I've noticed a stagnation, which means that like people are going to buy at a lower percent. I don't mind selling for 75 to 80% on my sealed stuff. I don't want to sell it at 60. Okay. I would still be making money because I got all this at retail or MSRP, whatever you want to call it. But I know that it's worth more, and I know that in the future, when I see that it's, my UPCs are selling for like $1,500, but I sold it for $8, I would be okay because that would be like where the market was at the time. But if it's like $1,500 and I sold it for $5 or $6, I would not be happy with myself. As a matter of fact, I used to have 3 Evolving Skies ETBs that I got like, it's funny. I got them in Arkansas. Okay. I was in Arkansas with my lady's family. They're Texas people they're from the backwoods areas. They're just country folk, and some of them live in other areas, and they got a nice house in this big open area of Arkansas. It's a beautiful place, okay? Right next to the mountains. Is a great place, all right? Before you hear me say like, oh, they're backwoods people, I'm not talking like white trash. They're just country, okay? These are those like country boys and girls will survive kind of people, all right? But we go to Arkansas. We're in this massive house, beautiful house, got like 12 rooms in it. It's crazy. We're out, doing all this stuff, and I was like, we need to go to Walmart. We went to Walmart. I walk up, and there's this lady standing there, and there's 4 Evolving Skies ATVs. She just looks at them, and I look at them, and she's on the phone. She's like, there's another guy looking at them, and I can hear him. Like, her phone's not on speaker, but it's kind of loud. It's like, there's somebody else looking at him. He's like, okay, see how many it takes. And I was like, I want all 4. And she just kind of looked at me. I was like, I want all. Here's the thing. They were $45.99 because in Arkansas at the time, nobody's buying this stuff. This was during Scarlet and Violet's era that I was finding Evolving Skies ATVs on the shelf. I said, look, how many do you want? And they were like, I just want 1. I was like, oh yeah, go, take it. If they had said 2, I'd have given it to them. I'd have split it with them. But I ended up with 3. I flew them home. And when stuff started to boom, I sold them for $400 a box. And now it's shortly after that, they were going for much more. But that's okay. I was happy. I was content. I needed the money. I was in between jobs at the time, so I needed that extra spending. But yeah, no harm, no foul. So now, though, I learned from that. I'm not going to sell unless I'm super comfortable. I was comfortable at the time, but it was more of a need. Now these are kind of a want. Like, I want this price. Okay. Anyway, guys, I don't really have too much for you. I'm starting to ramble on, so we're going to cut that there. Like I said, start to buy. Go to these shows, see if you can get some deals, work with your vendors. Like, you got vendors out there that you've been making connections with. Continue doing that. That way, when the time comes, they're helping you out too. Like I said earlier, connections are important in this hobby. Anyway, guys, that's all I got for you today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.